Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you how to make this beautiful net pattern in polymer clay. And the cane is actually just a single knot, and you can tie it together to get a seamless pattern of a net. But also I think the single slice looks really cool. It's like a little package or a wrap box or something. And I designed this cane because I wanted to make an upgrade of the ikat rope cane that we did in a previous tutorial. So you could do the same pattern also using that ikat skinner blend, and you will get a much more realistic rendering of that rope. This is an end piece that I baked because it looks really cool on the back, I think. And also I was making a bowl from that veneer that I wanted to show you. It's quite thin and flexible, and it has this nice plasticky feel. So I will put a link in the infos to that other tutorial, and I will refer you back to that during the video. Now for the simple graphic version, I'll use only two colors. This is my porcelain, and I'll use it for the rope and for the background. And then I have this nice blue here for the outlines. And we'll need a lot more of this color for the background and the packing, because all of this is what we'll use for the rope only. And these two sheets are both on a level 0, which is the thickest level of my pasta machine. And this is 10 by 16 and this is 10 by 10. And I'll roll this one up into a lock starting from the short side, and then I'll wrap it in my blue. Now this cane is roughly the same volume as this ikat skinner blend that we did in the rope cane tutorial. I made another one here just to show you. And so at this point you could choose to work with either of those, or you could also work with a different blend altogether that has this volume, and you process it up to that stage with a thin outline. And I mean this it reduces in that direction and this reduces in that direction. It's a bit confusing now. So I'll leave this up to you, and for now we will keep on working with this one because it's easier, and also you could even do this without a pasta machine actually. And I will reduce it, make it a bit longer, and then cut it into halves. And we'll get these two equal pieces, and one of them we'll be using for the knot, and the other one we'll be using for these 4 short pieces of rope that are connecting to the knot. So we'll start with one, and I will reduce it even more to a length of roughly 40 centimeters. You gotta make sure that this has a constant thickness. We want a nice, very even strand. And now we're gonna make it flat by pressing it down. So I made it really flat and wide, and also it's got a bit longer, which is good because we want to stretch it to a length of 48 centimeters now. And this is because we want to cut it into 16 pieces, and 48 is 16 times 3, so we'll cut it into segments of 3 centimeters. And we want to put them together into one long piece of rope. And this is the same as in the other tutorials, so I recommend you watch that video as well, even if you don't want to use the ikat blend. And what I'm doing here is of each piece individually, I'm making this side flat like that and making the other side flat like that to create this curve here and here, and then I'm putting it together like that with a little offset here and the same offset on the other side. So this is already our piece of rope, and I'm just putting them together loosely. Don't put too much pressure, especially on the outside, because we want to keep this wavy, curvy line here. And this is our rope. We'll need it later. And now we're going to make the knot from this other piece, and I'll do the same. I will also reduce it, make it flat, make it 48 centimeters and cut it into 16 pieces. Of those 16 pieces, we'll take 4 and put them together like before to a regular rope, but a short piece, only 4 segments. And then the other pieces, we'll be putting them together a little bit differently because we don't want a straight rope but a curved rope. So I will create with each piece I will create a sort of drop shape. It still has this S curve, but it's quite thick at one end, and I'll pinch it very flat at the other end, kind of like this. And I'll do that with the second piece, and then I'm putting these together kind of like a fan. Wait, it was like that. So instead of having this offset here, I'll almost align them. There's almost no offset here. So it already creates our curve, and I'm keeping them close together here, and then I'm bending them this way to attach the other side and to create this nice twist here. And then this piece, I will cut it in half. And then I'm putting this, I'm putting this together like that. Like this. So a rope goes like that, and then it starts fanning like that. And here, with the last one, we can cut off this little corner, and attach it to the other side with the blue touching and aligning it here. And this will create a last little segment on the end. And then this piece, it will go inside here. It's touching there and it's touching there. And I will make this a little bit longer, this side, because we want this edge touching here. Like that. And then we'll close it here. We don't want any of that white showing on the outside. And then I'll use my last 8 pieces to create one big fan, like a big curve. So again, I'm making it into a drop shape and taking those flat ends together. So I did that with 4 pieces, and I can pinch it even more here to make it even more bended, and then again I'm attaching those to the top. And now this piece is gonna go making this a bit more tight here. And now this piece is gonna go starting from here all the way to there. And we can make a, because this edge here is straight, so we can make a straight cut here. And again, we can use this to create a last little segment here. And we'll do the same on the other side. So you could see I created a sort of corner here that fits to that corner. And now we'll get this piece of rope here that we already prepared, and I will cut it in half. And then this piece will go here, and it's continuing this rope that we already have inside our knot, like that. And then I will cut this again in half. And this piece will go on the other side in a straight line with that piece. And here we want to attach it like that. You know, we don't twist it, but we attach it like that. So this side and this side, it will match in the end. It's tessellated basically. And then this piece can go here like that. Watch your direction, you know, like this. It's because it's a continuation of this rope basically. So here we have it like that, and then it's like that. That's not nice. We want it in the same direction as here, and it's kind of perpendicular to this other line of rope. And then here we'll also cut away half. And this piece will go here. Again, don't turn it or twist it or anything. It will go like that on the top. And here, it doesn't really match. What I'll do is I cut off this edge and attach it here like that, and now it fits to my knot. So I was putting the whole thing together quite loosely. I was not putting too much pressure anywhere, and also I was not trying to force it into the perfect shape, because now that we assembled the whole thing, we can still correct it and get it to the shape that we want. And we basically want to tighten the knot a little bit, especially here in this area. These two sides here, these and here, need to match. They need to be aligned across that rope, because it has a tendency, when you're putting it together, it has a tendency to create an offset here, especially on the back. When you look at the back, it has this offset. So what we can do here is we'll open this again, and then we'll push that whole thing in this direction, bring it up like that, and open it here and bring this down to align these two sides here. And again, when you're doing this, you got to be very careful. Don't put too much pressure, and especially don't put any punctual pressure, because this is going to destroy our shape. And instead, I'm touching it only carefully, gently, and I'm trying to shift the entire volume rather than just pushing on one point. And you do that from both sides, double check both sides. And now we can maybe even correct these ones a little bit, because the whole thing got twisted now. So now that our knot has its final shape, we can start packing it with the background color. And we want to create a nice rectangular, regular cane. And we're going to start with little wedges that go in each of these gaps here. And this is going to preserve our nice curly outline. And I made these wedges with an extruder. But you could also do them by hand. They're just small, flat triangles that fit inside these gaps, and we need one for each gap. And then for the rest around, we just want to follow this shape of the knot as close as possible. But there's no real trick or shortcut, you know. You just gotta piece it together, basically. And I made a stack here of my background color that has the same height as my cane, and I will cut pieces from here and then fit them inside. So in the end, I was working on the outside a little bit to make sure that this is a nice side to align these sides here flush with that cut face of our rope. And now it's ready for reducing. You gotta be a bit careful with these kind of flat canes. It's a bit difficult in the beginning. So you might want to use cane reducing caps or rest it on your surface while reducing like that. And then when you get over a certain length, it gets easier. If you want to learn more about the reducing, please watch any other of my tutorials. For instance, the bubble wrap cane. I'm not going to go through this whole process now, because instead I want to show you the finished cane. I didn't make it too small because this is already a quite complex pattern, and you might want to clean the sides a bit, because if they're dirty you will see an outline of each tile in the veneer. So let's open it. Oops. Here's our knot. So I hope you got inspired. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want to learn about the blended version or the bowl. And thanks for watching and happy creating.